just lie there, Schnorbits. Help me. I'm trying out my skis. And now I can't work out how to turn round. And I don't want to miss the Giddy game show.
Here's Giddy. Now we can play the Giddy game show. Are you ready out there?
Gorilla's ready.
Giddy's ready.
Gus is ready.
Game one.
We're visiting the theatre today.
Bright lights, zippity-doo-dah.
And ice cream in the interval.
Now, that's the setting for our first panto. Which of these four characters is going to act in it?
Goldilocks and the Three Bears, my favourite.
Here's the setting for the second panto. Which character is going to act in this one? Quick, before Giddy. What about the third panto?
I think it's Cinderella.
Oh, no, don't give the game away, Gorilla. Which character is right this time?
The Fairy Godmother. I thought it was.
I guess too. It was easy peasy.
Pendo Wento.
Last scene coming up. Now, which of these four belongs here?
Game over.
Game two.
Costume.
That's what actors wear.
Thank you, Gorilla. I do the telling. Costumes are what actors wear. Now, one of them has forgotten his bow and arrow. Which one? What about this bit of costume? Quick, before Giddy, whose is it? Who needs this? And who should wear this?
Game over.
Game three.
Stage fights.
Did he say stage frights?
No, I said stage fights.
I thought you did.
Get on with it, Gus.
I say get on with it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no.
Now, here we have a battle between cowboys and Indians. How do we escape all these arrows? Cops and robbers. Which way through? Which way through the pirates?
Ooh, aren't they pretty?
He's got a thing about ballerinas.
Oh, well, keep your mind on the job, Gorilla. We have to find a way through these charming ladies before Giddy. You ready?
Game over. Pity.
Game four.
Game 4's your alphabet game, Gorilla. And today's letter is R.
Big R and little R.
Rah, 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 for running.
All these pictures begin with R. Now, can you find the word in the picture for something beginning with R that you put on the floor?
Carpet.
Ra, ra, ra.
Oh, yes, rug.
Something that appears in the sky.
Rainbow.
Something to tie in a bow.
Ribbon.
A flower.
Rose. I knew a girl called Rose, Mary Rose. She sat on a pin and...
Mary Rose.
A mechanical man.
Robot.
Easy peasy.
What's left?
Roof. 6 more coming up.
Something to hit a ball with.
Bat.
Doesn't start with ra. Try again.
Oh,
Ra.
Racket. Sometimes when I'm being noisy, Gus says,
Stop making such a racket.
Same word. Haven't you heard?
Let's get on with it. Something to wear on your finger.
ring.
A garden tool.
Rake.
A spacecraft.
Rocket.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A precious jewel.
Ruby. I knew a girl called Ruby
Not
once.
again.
An animal.
Rabbit. Game over.
And now for the thrilling adventures of Princess Galaxina. This week, our heroine, exhausted by her search for Gagan, has been lured to Snoronia, home of the dreaded yawns. To encounter just one of Gagan's dozy allies brings perpetual sleep. You can help Giddy save the princess by stifling those yawns before they open their evil-smelling mouths.
One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. Eight.
Once more, the princess wins through. But what terrifying space odyssey awaits her next time?
The end of the show. But there's time for one more game. Behind the curtains are some pantomime animals. Now, which is making that noise?
Easy peasy.
Wrong, Giddy. It should be the donkey.
I can see 2 donkeys round here. And I can see a cat,
That's right.
and a cow, and a goose,
A mother goose.
and a horse.
That's all for today. Goodbye until the next Giddy Game Show.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All these still to come, but first, it's those microchip tinkers, the Telebugs.
And now for news of the storm sweeping across the country. High winds are lashing the coasts and torrential rains are causing widespread flooding. Fortunately, the city is protected by our new computer-controlled flood barrier.
Did you hear that, Magna? Computer-controlled. But it is our computer that will control the barrier, yes. Just the job for Angel Brain.
Really, Bully Bite, unleashing the awesome strength of Angel Brain in a rampaging flood. Well,
Precisely, my dear. The perfect moments to show the world how I can control a billion-byte computer. Switch on. And program running. Listen, Telebugs, I want you to cover this flood from the barrier control station. It could be the story of the year.
we'll make a big splash, eh, Chief?
Watch it, kid. You'll blow a fuse with jokes like that. How soon can you go, Chip?
We're on our way, Mr. McStarch. All in focus. Hey, what's up with Samantha?
My scanners detect a malfunction. Alien data from an outside source is distorting the flood level readings.
I calculate a human disaster situation. Emergency action. Bug and Mick will transmit live pictures of the water level. There's not a moment to lose. Bug, you and Mick get out on the barrier. Quick as you can. Give us a water level report. Then start sending live pictures back to the station. Sizzling semiconductors. River level 3 meters above danger and rising fast.
It won't be long now. Soon the floodwaters will cover the city, and then the world will listen to me or suffer the same fate. I am Bully Bite. I control the most powerful computer on Earth.
Not so loud. What will the neighbors think?
Neighbors.
My scanners detect alien data.
Whatever the alien force is, it's stopped transmitting. But it's overloaded the microcircuits and blown them. There is only one way to raise that flood barrier, Samantha. We'll have to provide the power.
It won't be the first time, Chip. I'm ready.
Well, that stopped the flood. Now we'd better see how Bug and Mick are doing. Just in time, Chip. The rescue services need help spotting flood victims. Okay, Bug. Switch to picture mode. Telebug to rescue. Telebug to rescue. 2 children clinging to a raft at Blake's Bend.
Rescue launch to Telebug. We're on our way.
Telebug to helicopter. A dinghy in trouble at Fisherman's Reach.
Chopper 1 to Telebug. Tank chip spotted in my scope and going in now.
Well, what a day it's been for the Telebugs. The flood pictures, raising the flood barriers and saving our city. And they've just completed directing rescue operations. So all's well that ends well.
Ends well. Ends well? That's what you think. With Angel Brain's power increasing every day, we have just begun our march to victory!
I've seen them do this on the telly to make themselves go faster. I think I'm more concerned about how to go slower. Oh, look, it's Ragdolly Anna.
Ragdolly Anna, how do you do? Ragdolly Anna, good day to you. What will you be doing today? Upstairs, downstairs, on your way. Ragdolly Anna's just like you. She knows that one and one make two. She can talk all this and that with a bunch of paper roses in a big straw hat. With a bunch of paper roses in a big straw hat.
Ragdolly Anna lives on the first, second, third floor of a block of flats with the little dressmaker, the dressmaker's dummy, and White Cat. Early one morning, the little dressmaker was looking at the calendar.
Do you know, today is the first day of spring. They're 21st of March.
Ragdolly Anna looked at the picture on the calendar. It showed a pretty woodland scene with a path running through it. One side of the path was covered with primroses.
I don't care for primroses myself,
commented White Cat.
No use at all.
The little dressmaker stared out of the window.
But where would we find primroses living as we do 3 floors up? Oh, apply your mind to the problem. Decide what to do and do it,
said White Cat, drawing himself up to his full height. He suggested a plan.
Catch a bus, page 179 in the timetable. Of course. That bus goes straight to Thornhill, and we're sure to find some primroses there. I know. We'll leave everything and go today. Now, hurry along, Ragdolly Anna. Straighten your hat and fetch your shawl.
The little dressmaker told Dummy where they were going and when they were coming back. She put some cakes into a large tin and turned to Ragdolly Anna.
There. Now, when we've eaten them, we can put the primroses in here.
In no time at all, they were sitting in the bus and driving out of town into the countryside. White Cat sat in front so that he could
give instructions to the driver.
They left the bus at Thornhill Farm. While they were deciding in which direction to go, White Cat made off towards the cowsheds to visit his cousin, Professor Perkins, and to find some fresh farm milk. The little dressmaker had to carry Ragdolly Anna most of the way as the cart track was so muddy. They came to a pond with ducks swimming on it. The little dressmaker looked around for somewhere to rest.
Oh, look! Here's a nice sheltered corner with a log for a seat. Now, why don't we sit down here to eat our cakes, and then I can have 40 winks and you can look at the ducks.
Ragdolly Anna watched the ducks floating on the surface. Then she thought, I wonder if the cake tin would float. Gently she pushed it into the water. It does. It floats. Oh, it's like having a boat of my own, she thought. Soon she tired of pushing it about at the edge of the pond. Very carefully, she tried putting 1 foot in the tin. Then she put 2 feet in. Before she knew where she was floating. The tin went round and round, and out and out. Help! Help! Cried Ragdolly Anna, and the little dressmaker, who was hardly asleep, opened her eyes at once.
Come back! Come back at once! It's deep there in the middle and dangerous.
But Ragdolly Anna couldn't come back. The cake tin was only just floating. 1 splosh of water had plopped over the edge and into the tin already. She felt it cold and wet around her feet. At that moment, White Cat and Professor Perkins, deep in conversation, passed by on their way to the dairy. Professor Perkins took 1 look at Ragdolly Anna in the middle of the pond, and then he turned to White Cat.
I say, quick, young chap, to business. There's a pole in those bushes, and it's long enough to reach her.
He turned to the little dressmaker.
Madam, if I could ask your assistance.
The 2 cats disappeared, taking the little dressmaker with them. When they came back, the little dressmaker was carrying the pole.
Hold on tight to the end,
shouted White Cat to Ragdolly Anna as the little dressmaker swung the pole towards her. Ragdolly Anna reached up and grasped the pole firmly with both hands. Then, with her foot on the edge of the tin, she managed to clamber onto it. At that moment, another gulp of water plopped over the edge of the tin, and it sank.
Stand on the pole and walk your way to the bank,
advised Professor Perkins. But Ragdolly Anna knew she would fall off if she stood up. After all, I'm not a cat. I've only got 2 legs and I haven't got a tail to help me balance.
pull,
shouted White Cat to the little dressmaker. She pulled and pulled and pulled. Ragdolly Anna was quite near the bank now. It's a funny thing, she thought. When anything nice is happening, time goes by as quick as a wink. And when anything dreadful is happening, every minute lasts half an hour. At last, she was safely back with her friends.
What she needs is common sense,
said Professor Perkins in his deep, throaty voice.
It isn't wise to go sailing in a cake tin. A duck pond is for ducks, and ducks are for roasting.
The little dressmaker turned to him.
I'm grateful to you for your help.
Only too pleased to oblige,
he replied. Then he and White Cat walked off towards the dairy.
Now, why don't you jump up and down? That'll warm you up a bit.
Ragdolly Anna jumped up and down as many times as she could.
Now, do you feel dry enough to gather some primroses?
Oh, yes, thank you, said Ragdolly Anna. But what shall we put them in? We'll never be able to get the cake tin out of the pond. The little dressmaker had a think.
I know. We'll put them in your hat. We'll get a great many primroses in there, and won't it look pretty?
Ragdolly Anna took off her hat. It made a really good basket. Under the hedge were lots of primroses. Ragdolly Anna admired their delicate yellow faces and the smell. She sniffed slowly. Ooh. The hedge itself was full of things she hadn't noticed before. It had looked so dead from a distance, but now she could see the leaf buds beginning to burst with new growth. Then she saw a nest. It had 4 tiny bright blue eggs in it. The little dressmaker told her what it was.
No, that's a hedge sparrow's nest. They're almost the same size as the cheeky house sparrow at home, but they're not related.
It didn't take long before Ragdolly Anna's hat was piled high with primroses. The little dressmaker looked at her watch.
Oh, my goodness. It's almost time now for the bus to take us home.
When they arrived at the bus stop, White Cat and Professor Perkins were already there.
It's been jolly good to have a break from the hustle and bustle of town,
said White Cat.
You must stay with us when you're next up.
I wonder if he will, thought Ragdolly Anna.
Ragdolly Anna's fine and brown, standing up and sitting down. Ragdolly Anna's fine and fat, with a bunch of paper roses in a big straw hat. Ragdolly Anna's fine and fat, with a bunch of paper roses in a big straw hat. With a bunch of paper roses in a big straw